Take a deep breath. Slow down for just a moment. This message found you today for a reason. You may not understand why right now, but nothing in your life is accidental. Not this moment, not this message, and not you. God does not work randomly. He works intentionally. And today, He wants you to hear this clearly. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not broken beyond repair. God sees everything you've been carrying in silence. He knows the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. He knows the tears you cried when you smiled in front of others. And He knows the questions you've been asking deep in your heart. God, when? God, how? God, do you even hear me? Today, God says, yes, I hear you, and I am closer than you think. This season is not punishment. One of the biggest lies the enemy tells is that your struggle means God is disappointed in you, that your delays mean you failed, that your pain is proof that you're doing something wrong. But God says today, this season is not punishment, it is preparation. Just like a seed buried in the ground, you may feel hidden, ignored, or pressed down. But what you don't see is that growth happens in the dark. Roots grow before fruit appears, and God never rushes the process because what He is building in you must last. If everything came easily, you wouldn't develop faith. If every prayer was answered instantly, you wouldn't learn trust. If there were no storms, you wouldn't know God as your shelter. God is working even when you can't see it. You may feel like nothing is changing, like you're praying the same prayers, fighting the same battles, facing the same fears. But God says, just because you can't see me working doesn't mean I stopped. Behind the scenes, God is aligning people, moving obstacles, closing doors that would harm you, and preparing opportunities you are not ready for yet. Some doors are delayed because if they opened too soon, they would destroy you instead of bless you. God's timing is not slow. God's timing is perfect. Let go of what is draining you. Today, God is gently asking you to release what is no longer life-giving. Release the guilt you keep replaying. Release the resentment you keep carrying. Release the pressure to prove yourself to people who don't see your heart. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step in faith. God never asks for perfection. He asks for surrender. You are stronger than you think. You've survived things you once thought would destroy you. You've walked through seasons you never imagined you'd make it through. And yet, here you are. That's not luck. That's God. The strength you feel today is not your own. It's God sustaining you. Even when you were tired, God gave you strength. Even when you were confused, God gave you clarity one step at a time. Even when you wanted to give up, something inside you said, keep going. That voice was God. Stop comparing your journey. God wants you to hear this clearly today. Your path is not supposed to look like anyone else's. Comparison steals joy. It makes you feel behind when you're exactly where you need to be. God custom designed your journey because He custom designed your calling. What looks like delay in your life may be protection. What looks like rejection may be redirection. What looks like loss may be God making room for something better. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the God who knows the end from the beginning. God is calling you to trust again. Maybe you trusted once and got hurt. Maybe you prayed before and felt disappointed. Maybe you stepped out in faith and things didn't work out the way you hoped. God says today, don't let past pain close your heart. Healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. Healing means believing God can still bring good from it. What broke you before will not break you again, because now you're wiser, stronger, and closer to God. Faith is not about having all the answers. Faith is about trusting God even when you don't. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Often, the hardest moments come right before change. The enemy fights hardest when he knows you're close to something new. That's why you may feel pressure, doubt, or exhaustion right now. But God says, do not give up now. Your breakthrough is not behind you, it's ahead of you. Your peace is not gone, it's being restored. Your joy is not lost, it's being renewed. Hold on, keep believing, keep praying even when it feels quiet. Silence does not mean absence. Waiting does not mean denial. God is rewriting your story. What others meant for harm, God is turning for good. What felt like an ending is becoming a new beginning. What you thought disqualified you is becoming your testimony. God specializes in redemption. He turns mess into meaning, pain into purpose, and brokenness into beauty. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not limited by your past. You are not stuck where you are. God is still writing your story. A word of peace for your heart. Today, God wants you to rest. Rest your mind from overthinking. Rest your heart from worry. Rest your spirit from fear. You don't have to carry everything alone. God is inviting you to place your burdens in His hands. Peace doesn't come from having control. Peace comes from trusting God's control. Final message from God today. If you hear nothing else, hear this. You are loved. You are chosen. You are guided. You are protected.